What's up, Trojans? Just want to get a nice recap video out for the Giants 49ers Thursday night football game. Wasn't in a hurry to get this one out. Nothing too crazy happened. The 49ers won. I figured the 49ers would win. The 49ers are a better team, so yeah. And this game was more about the 49ers than the Giants because the Giants were not on the field that much. The 49ers dominated the time of possession. But a good few things to know. Daniel Jones, he didn't collapse. It wasn't like a terrible Dallas performance where the Giants couldn't get anything going right. Definitely a couple plays here and there. But the Giants' offense didn't do anything crazy. There weren't any huge plays. The Giants didn't really do any deep passes. The longest pass they probably attempted was like 10 yards. It was all these short passes, just very few yards per attempt, per everything. There just wasn't a big play that opened up the offense for the Giants, and the 49ers took advantage of that, holding the Giants to only 12 points. They had some good players on defense. Bosa stood out a bit for them, their defensive end, and just held the Giants back. I mean, Giants are still working with no Andrew Thomas, so that's affecting the offensive line. And now working without Saquon Barkley, that definitely hurt the run game and really hurt the pass game. I feel like that's why the Giants couldn't do anything deep. Something in game planning, maybe you just try something, but Giants were not feeling it. And the 49ers, I mean, they looked ready for it if the Giants were to try it. So I guess I don't entirely blame the Giants for not even trying it, but I don't know. You figure somewhere in there, you're like, look, someone's got to make something happen. Let's just lob one deep to somebody. Hyatt, Slayton, they exist. Why not use them on a deep pass? But yeah, the Giants' offense, it was all these short plays. They would barely move the ball, and they made a couple plays though. I mean, put some points on the board. I mean, a couple field goals, the touchdown. If the defense was amazing, the Giants would have had a shot in this game, but the 49ers offense, they just controlled everything. While our offense, if we had a 3rd and 7, that was not getting picked up. Their offense, if they had a 3rd and 20, it was getting picked up every time, it felt like. The Giants' defense, they might get a nice tackle for a loss, or, the Giants had their first sacks of the year in this game. The first one was Purdy just walking into Thibodeau, and the other one was a nice play by two of our defensive linemen, Davidson and Leonard Williams. Leonard Williams, normally, he can be gone or he'll magically show up, but I don't know, lately he's just kind of been okay overall, and, he helped out a little bit in this game. And so the defensive line, they did some stuff, and those sacks, though, I think on both of them, the 49ers kept the drives going. It was not stopping them. The defense, they could not find a way to get off the field on 3rd down. They'd make a nice tackle for loss, and getting a couple of those really helped limit the 49ers' run game because, with the guys they have, McCaffrey, Samuel, they could have really just ran the ball all day against the Giants, but that wasn't necessarily the case. Their run game was fine. They looked good overall, but the Giants definitely be able to get some nice tackle for losses, and not. I don't remember a run necessarily where anyone did anything too crazy. Yeah, there were definitely some 9-yard runs where they broke some tackles, but nothing too crazy. I don't remember like a 30-yarder or anything. So the Giants looked okay there. The front 7 was looking okay. And I also can't hate on the secondary either, because, again, I don't remember a huge pass where the Giants got way out of place and gave something major up. Maybe there was one, I'm just forgetting it, but, the Giants' defense, they didn't look terrible. It's just the 49ers' offense controlled them. They got so many yards, and they couldn't get off the field on 3rd down. A lot of missed tackles on those 3rd down plays. It was a lot of, quick passes, like a screen pass or something, and then the guy would just run 20 yards. That'll happen if you miss a couple tackles. So the Giants really need to work on that. And, then I guess on special teams, Gano looked good, hit a nice long field goal. Happy to see that after not getting a chance to hit a ton of field goals against the Cardinals. And then, especially trying to make sure he's able to hit field goals consistently in the season, considering that one weird field goal miss against Dallas, which made it 40-0 instead of 40-anything. But yeah, so that was good. Gano is definitely a great kicker and all. I don't know. I needed this to kind of see that he's like good to go, really prove like overtime in the playoffs. This is a guy that can hit a 55-yarder. And I definitely feel like that's the case. It looks bad when you I don't know. I feel like something bad happened on that play, but missing a short field goal, week 1, not the best sign. Hitting a bunch of field goals 2 weeks in a row, a game winner, and then a couple in this game. So Gano should be good for the rest of the year now. And that's about it. I mean, the defense overall, they had a ton of tackles. Micah McFadden stood out a bit. Thibodeau was very quiet except for one play. And, guys like McKinney and Jackson, they were there in the secondary, but nothing too crazy. I didn't notice anything terrible from the rookie corners, but I also didn't notice anything amazing from them. And, that was really just the story of the Giants this game. I figured something would happen where someone would do something, like, amazing. Because McFadden, all he really did was get a bunch of nice tackles. It's not like he intercepted a pass or, got a huge, 10-yard loss sack that kicked him off the field. He made a bunch of nice tackles, held them to short gains doing it, or short losses. But, a game like this, a game against a better team, you need a play. You need something to happen. Things, somehow, some way, someone needs to break something open. Right, like a huge sack, fumble, or a nice interception. Giants had a couple chances at stuff like that, but, the only thing that was caught in a turnover that way was the 49ers caught a pop ball by the Giants, So they ended up winning that, and, not that that was the only factor, ended up winning the game. The other thing, 49ers, they had better refs than us, The refs were not giving the Giants any calls, and definitely gave the 49ers a couple calls. The one that, stands out to me the most, there was a roughing the passer, but, if you look at it, technically it is roughing the passer, so it makes sense they'd call it. The one I noticed, and maybe this just because I wasn't at the game, was our defensive end gets punched in the face by their left tackle. And they call a penalty on our defensive end and the left tackle for punching the guy in the face, yes. But when you get punched in the face, I didn't know that was a penalty. Was I supposed to dodge it? Me making contact with someone else's fist, punching me, that's a penalty. That made no sense to me. Maybe they didn't show the retaliation. Maybe they didn't show enough of the instigation if there was some. But it just looked terrible. I know it's probably just the refs trying to get the Giants out of the half. Come back next half. Maybe you guys do something. But, still, officiate the game. Maybe eject a guy for punching someone in the face. I think it was 2 punches, actually. Just the other one was kind of weak. Little weak punch, but one square in the face. Kadarius Toney does that, though. Gone. I mean, obviously, he should have been gone after doing that. Don't get me wrong, but, it's just funny. Going to the future, Seahawks are up next. Don't want to call it a must-win or anything, but, the Giants should win that game. Basically a mini bye week. That's Monday Night Football. Hoping to see it on the Manning cast. Should be fun. The Seahawks, they're a beatable team for the Giants. They're not a bad team. They're a good team. But if the Giants want to be a good team, it's a team the Giants should beat. Simple as that. Giants have a home game. Basically a bye week here with the Thursday to Monday. That's a huge gap. A lot of time to prepare. A lot of time to rest. Hopefully a guy like Saquon can come back, or I don't know the specifics of Andrew Thomas's injury, but hopefully he can come back because he definitely helps out our offensive line, and Saquon really helps out the Giants' run, pass, the entire offensive game, helps out the defense too, staying on the field longer, So hopefully the Giants can get those guys back, be ready to go against the Seahawks, full healthy team. And if that's the case, I think the Giants can pull out a nice victory, something like 27-20 or Something along those lines. The offense does a bit more and the defense still struggles, but maybe makes a play or two happen. Holds the Seahawks back. Hoping that's the case anyway. All right. See you guys in the next one.